All right, welcome everybody to Tarqaron, my pretties. I'm like
Are you ready to do? We need to do battle. What do you think? A program
I
versus?
don't have
I
a
think you
broom with
win.
me.
I
Yeah,
think you automatically win. I don't know. I don't think I can. I don't think I can win against Elphaba.
yeah. So I'm Elphaba, baby. Looking more like Wicked Witch of the West, like the old school version, because this makeup is not up to snuff. It's not on Elphaba's level. That's for sure.
That's okay. I'm a Tron. I'm a program from the Tron. I got we reviewed all the Tron movies this go around, and I
Hmm.
gotta just keep it going till the end of the month here.
It's appropriate.
Please go see that movie because it's not gonna make money. So
Don't go
I
see the
guess you can
movie.
just wait at this point. Well, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about another movie.
Gremlins. This is like an
That's right.
not many people know about this movie, and we're trying to spread the word. And
It's just a little known hit, little known fact
yeah,
about Gremlins.
so this is one
Uh,
I grew up around, and I had definitely seen parts of it here and there, but I don't think I ever sat down and watched it in full. So my
hmm.
first time really sitting through and watching it, that I can recall.
Yeah, I've seen very tiny clips of it, but I've never seen the whole thing. I've only seen just like small little references, like other people talking about it very fondly. And I'd never seen it before. So, but I'd be interested. It always seemed like it would be kind of right up my alley. I like this time of movie making. Is always a very enjoyable revisit for me.
Hmm.
So I was looking forward to seeing it, and here we are gonna talk about it and review it. And we're actually going to be doing the second one as well. We are going to be reviewing Gremlins 2,
Yes,
but before we get too ahead of ourselves.
yes. We start every review with our gut check, which is our score out of 10 coming into the review, because we don't discuss anything prior. This is our first impression how the other person feels about it, and then we do the whole review, we discuss it, and we lock in our final scores at the end. Okay. All right. Three, two, one. 8.
8.5.
All right.
I
5.
yeah, what? Uh this movie is wonderful. I had such a good time.
Yeah, it's one
Laugh
of those. It's one of those. It's like one of those um classics that just it's a good vibe, and you go back and you watch it, you can just tell why it became such a phenomenon. And
mm,
one of those
yeah, they
instantly
definitely had.
iconic films.
Yeah, I find it very very interesting uh on because on the one hand, without on the very surface level of it, it is an extremely approachable, engaging movie. It's fun. It's got the cute characters, but then there's also the danger element. Where the Mogwai, when they become the Gremlins that are talked about, the World War II Gremlins, and messing around with all the technology.
Hmm.
Um, it uh, it turns into mayhem and gets a little violent, which is really fun
Right.
actually. Uh, so
It's got a couple of genres mixed in there. There's elements
big
of
time,
like horror, elements of
yeah,
comedy in there. It's definitely not like a genuinely scary horror type movie. It's more like a goofy mixed with some like
yeah,
and it's like the shock of it being so violent with it being so goofy. It's like that
right,
kind of mixed
right.
bag to where especially early on
Well,
there's not much there until you get into that the scene with the mom in the kitchen, and then it just goes south quick with
yeah,
the over the top kills and stuff.
well, I think that's kind of actually why the movie is so clever.
Mm-hmm.
Is because it is just playing and almost kind of like poking fun. Like this is almost a meta movie in a lot of weird ways. Like it is taking all of these like genre tropes that you'd expect in like every movie. You've got like uh to the point of it's where it's referencing movies both in the movie and also showing movies playing in the
Mhm.
background that it's also referencing at the same time. Um, and it's very wry is kind of what I would call it. Very wry, like wry, maybe sly would be a better. It
Maybe
very
fly. I don't
fly,
know.
pretty
These
too
words are
fly.
coming to
Yeah,
mind.
yeah. These words come to mind. Um, no, but I mean, you like down to the very first scene where you've got the narrated opening, and he's like, "We gotta looking for a gift for my son for the," and he goes down to the mystical Chinatown shop. He
Yeah,
like
yeah,
goes down, like it's like it is just leaning so hard into like all the, like these are old tropes,
for sure.
old tropes,
Yeah.
even in '84 when this came out. This came out the same day as Ghostbusters, by the way.
Whoa.
Just gonna point that out there. The same day
Who
as
you got?
Ghostbusters. So,
You got-
who
Who
have I
you
got?
got? Gremlins or Ghostbusters?
I think I'm still more of a Ghostbusters fan, but I have a very strong appreciation for this movie now, having watched it. Um,
Sure.
because it plays with all of those tropes for the sake of comedy, but it does it in such a way that's like a general movie going audience won't necessarily be like picking it out. They're still just going to be like sitting here enjoying the show for what it is. Get this little cute little character is like Gizmo is clearly like an instant marketing
Right.
uh, kind of plant. Like immediately you can make tons of money off of Gizmo merch, honestly. Like, and or just various Gremlin stuff. Stripe is also pretty memorable
Yeah.
Mogwai character,
And it's like at a
but
certain point in the movie, it just turns into we're watching these freaks just doing nonsensical things. And there's like a
yep,
whole stretch of scenes of them just doing crazy stuff,
it
like in the bar,
it turns
just
in
like smoking 3 cigarettes.
it
You
goes Looney Tunes. It goes
know,
Looney
yeah.
Tunes for a bit while they're doing that. It's fun.
And
um,
see what I distinctly remembered from this movie was I knew Gizmo, I knew like the rules generally of the
mhm,
Gremlins, and I knew like that inventor scene in the beginning felt distinctly familiar to me. So I
mm,
definitely seen scenes here or there. Um, but it's like a surface level. It's not like a lot you need to really think about with this movie. It's just a fun. It's you got 3 rules to keep track of. Do, don't no sunlight, no water,
yeah,
and don't feed them after midnight, which I find the funniest
that's right.
rule because
It's very funny. It's
it's
that to me. See,
it's
that it doesn't make sense, but like that's also kind of the comedy of that too, right?
right. It's like
Like
what's
you
the
don't feed them after
specifics? When does after midnight become before midnight?
midnight.
We never get that.
Exactly.
You don't
That
know.
doesn't it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for the sake of the story. But it's just one of those silly rules
Yeah,
that's like, sure, yeah.
yeah,
And at least so the I guess significantly the Mogwai know when it is
it's
because
true.
they trick Billy.
They
They trick
feel it in
Billy
their
Peltzer
bones. These Mogwai are very advanced. Like they know they're pulling on full on schemes,
Mhm.
utilizing this like just society around them. You know, it's like they're creating a diversion. The Mogwai are creating a diversion or whatever. It's like
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty
it's
great.
crazy. They're
Well,
they're super
and that
advanced. Once you go from
yeah.
the cute form.
Well, and that to me too is that like this was like an $11 million budget, which for the time, that was a low budget even for the time. Like that's a pretty modest budget to make a movie out of. And the fact that they were able to make though the animatronics and the puppetry of the creatures is so good. Like you seriously do buy that they're real things living there. There's like the stop motion stuff is a little janky. There's a couple scenes where they use some stop motion, and
Hmm.
that looks a little jank, but like that's when there's like tons of them that they're like coming forward and from the distance. That's that shot where they're like coming through the fog there, and they're all kind of like shuffling through. But you really get a sense of how of their intelligence just by how they like move around and they react to things like the I know I've heard people talk about like this particular shot in general is great, but it's like when the one who's like in the kitchen eating stuff, and then he hears Mrs. Peltzer like move, and then you just kind of like get a sense his ear perks up, and he kind of like slyly looks over and then like smiles, and then like goes back to his business before he then gets jumped and thrown into the blender, which is awesome.
Mom's pretty badass. The mom's pretty badass in that kitchen.
And she puts up with that's another thing too, is that the inventor stuff. So like in addition to all the Mogwai themselves, the props in this movie, I was dying every time there was a new invention showing up.
What's your favorite invention from?
I was sitting there cackling. I liked the hammer. I think that was the first one that had me. I was losing it when he started playing around with the hammer one.
It's a subtle one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing with
that
one?
There's also the fly swatter is a good one too. You're just like.
Yeah.
The smokeless ashtray is another classic.
Oh yeah, the guy from the shop, he was down for that. In the end, so generous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have the classic. Whenever you have this wacky inventor guy, they're gonna try to incorporate stuff in the kitchen. You know, you gotta make some orange juice. You gotta crack some eggs. You know, the cracking the eggs one. You know, there's some utility to that. It's just and it's got a nice little chicken noise. You know, that's an actually marketable invention. But
the remote phone, that's kind of forward thinking. You know, it's like you answer the phone it's like a radio that attaches to it hooks up. It's intended to hook up to your phone so that you can remote in, and it's like that's actually like that's kind of useful. It doesn't work, but you know.
Yeah.
It's especially funny when she's trying to use it and she's like 5 feet from it.
Mm-hmm. And what's the initial one that he is trying to sell to the shopkeep?
The travel buddy, I don't remember, something buddy. It's basically like that one's like
buddy?
has the bathroom buddy. That's it. It's got a toothbrush. It's got a mirror. It's got like fingernail clippers. He shows off later. He adds a razor to it.
Yeah, you know, if you're on your way to an important meeting, you're like, I didn't shave. You know, just whip that out and do it on the way.
Then of course, Billy accidentally activates the shaving cream, which gets all over him, and much like how the toothpaste did earlier. Yeah, I mean but I think what that, in addition to the movie knowing, like kind of expecting the audience to know the film tropes and to laugh along with the movie with them. Like you don't necessarily have to, but I feel like you get more out of the movie, like just kind of knowing like, the guy who's complaining about this foreign tech, all this damn foreigner stuff,
everything foreign.
Him getting his comeuppance. He's played by Dick Miller, who shows up to my understanding, shows up in basically every Joe Dante movie. And here he's just the World War II racist. Like he's just like, I can't believe these foreigners.
Anytime you cut to him, you know he's gonna say something about, I hate these foreign cars, these foreign products.
Yep.
He's flipping through the channels, and it gets the subtitles, and he's that
was a great punchline. Before the TV starts screwing up, he can't watch his movies, and then he flips onto it's a foreign network. So that was a good little punchline at the end there. But he gets his comeuppance, you know, reasonably.
The classic trope of the negligent cops who don't want to take it seriously, you know.
Yep. The negligent cops, the miserly old lady who was basically Mr. Potter from
she wants to murder the dog.
must murder a dog, and yeah, literally would kick a
Cruella de
puppy
Vil
if she
vibes. Yeah.
could. Yeah. Uh, one little gag that I liked is that she named her cats after forms of money,
Hmm.
like $1 bill.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was like spare dollar bill, drachma.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it is like, oh man, that's so funny. But then also like the movie poking fun at the tragic backstory, like, oh, why don't you like Christmas? And it's like
That
this
was
dark joke
crazy.
about like it's this dark thing about how her dad got stuck in the chimney and broke his neck. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
like that's
And
again very that's black humor right there. That's like it's like a black
yep,
comedy
and
in
Kate just
aspects, I
casually she drops the line, "Well, everyone else is opening up their presents. They're opening up their wrists." Crazy line from Kate. Talking about
think.
some people are just suicidal on Christmas. So you ever think about
Yeah,
that?
I know. Yeah.
But yeah.
See, that's what I mean. That's why this film is. That's why I think I was having so much fun with it. It is Chris Columbus wrote this also, which is another fun thing. He's always
Hmm.
often associated with Christmas
And
from his work on the first.
director of Pixels.
Chris Columbus directed Pixels.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
I learned that today.
that's that's really
I
sad.
was looking through his
I'm really
movies. I'm
sad
like,
now.
Pixels.
Oh oh dear. Well, his association with Christmas, of course, comes from the first two Home Alone films, and then the first two Harry Potter films, which people associate very strongly with Christmas a lot of the time.
Yeah,
It played on the ABC holiday. It played on those a lot, like
every
the
time.
ABC Family.
25 Days of
So I was that.
Christmas.
But those always like those give a Christmas vibe because I would say like the Christmas the wintry stuff in those first two movies is usually like a decent chunk of the film. So and it does have those very warm, welcoming sort of. It's always had they both have a happy ending in the end. They have a very like warm. It's the John Williams score too. All of those elements kind of mixed together. The way he just kind of makes movies. But he wrote the script for this one, and it's very funny and it's very clever.
Yeah.
Um
So
and
yeah,
yeah,
we're watching this in a month of horror, but it is a Christmas movie at the same time. So
yeah.
do you think is this a movie you
This
would
is a,
throw on for Christmas?
I think so. I think I'm gonna rewatch this for
Kind of
Christmas.
works.
I had so much fun. I had so much fun watching it.
Yeah.
I kind of want a little Gizmo now.
Oh
He's
yeah.
just so cute.
Yeah.
Voiced by Howie Mandel as well.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bright light, bright light.
Awesome.
um,
It's kind of like a Pokemon, but he'll say
yeah.
actual words,
Oh yeah.
but at the same time he'll like repeat like Mogwai,
Mogwai.
Mogwai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess in Cantonese it means like devil.
Hmm.
So, so
Yeah.
if you know, that's kind of a fun thing too.
So
So,
this guy, the shop owner, has Gizmo in
mhm,
there in a cage, closed up. No, Gizmo's
mhm.
not for sale, not for any price. And then the kid goes out and sneaks him out and sells it to him. Um, Tells him the rules, and then of course disaster. He's out with his inventions while it's just getting worse and worse. You know, you get the Gizmo makes contact with water, and from there it's just ever growing issue, and it gets more and more havoc being unleashed on this town. The most disturbing part of
There,
this film is how the parents were so unbothered that the dog was strung up with Christmas lights. They were just like, "Oh
yeah,
yeah, we gotta
that was
stop, we gotta get him out of here." You know, he's like,
that was that was very upsetting.
and
Actually,
she was like, we couldn't even
oh
find any footprints to track him, to track who did it.
yeah.
Like, okay, just like we really need to get Barney out of here. You know, it's just
The new
casually,
pets are upsetting him. You know.
yeah.
Um,
But then you do have the Billy having a crush on Kate. So there's a teenage love going on there too.
Yep, little romance. That's the very very by the numbers romance,
Mm-hmm.
but it's fun. It works for the movie. It's the cute little relationship. I also like that like Billy and little Corey Feldman's character. I like kind of they have like a little friendship there too. Um, because I thought Corey Feldman was great in this
Mm-hmm.
as well. I thought he was really kind of a fun little part of the film. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of forget he was in this um, until he shows up. I was like, oh yeah.
But yeah, so then it turns from like this cute little story with
Hmm.
Gizmo into just like from the kitchen scene, you get the couple gnarly deaths. The one getting blended up, the one getting microwaved to death.
Microwaved.
And that just introduces you to the kind of the shift in tone that we get from then on, and
Hmm.
and then it's just like once they turn into the big gremlin guys, then it's just them wreaking havoc. And I thought it was so funny that they loaded up that theater to watch Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
What's Snow White?
They were loving it.
This that that I'm trying to I was trying to figure out like what exactly they were. It almost to me kind of felt like it was the movie was almost felt like it was making fun of us for watching it in a weird way. It's just like, hey, you gremlins, you sitting there slobbering your popcorn, sitting here watching another re-release of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So like, like it
We're
almost
it
it
is
almost felt
us. We
a
watched
little bit
Snow
like that.
White earlier this year.
Yeah, we did. Um, and that is kind of like I think that sort of goes along with the shift in tone. Is it the movie does feel like it is kind of a like it at least has elements of a critique of over reliance on technology, of consumerism. There is a little bit of a I would say there's like a thread of that through especially through the latter half of the film.
Hmm.
Um, but you could even say that like some of that is the corrupting influence on like the it's like, oh, we're going in and we're getting in here, we're going to Chinatown and taking their stuff, and then of course we're ruining it because we don't listen to any of the rules that we're supposed to follow,
Hmm.
and and then have it all hell breaks loose because we just didn't care, didn't care enough about the rules to the
Right.
point where they're just like, yeah, let's just keep, I don't know, we'll just keep using water. We can make all kinds of them, like the Peltzer Pet. Another thing that also had me cackling every few moments is every time we would cut to Mr. Peltzer. What was his name again? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Uh, but every time he was at the convention, like inventors
Mhm.
convention, there'd just be some new weird thing going on in the background,
Yeah,
like the robot behind him. That's like,
he's on the phone in the phone booth.
um, yeah, the robot's just like talking on the phone as well.
Hmm.
It's Um, yeah, stuff like that was uh was always fun.
Nice touches. That's also
But
kind of a trope in itself. Like sometimes you'll have
mm,
the father be away, and like
yeah,
when hell's breaking loose back home in like a
yeah,
horror
yep,
movie. But
uh-huh.
and then it's
Yeah,
like,
even the whole
mm,
final encounter in the candy store is like a whole. That is one giant horror movie
yeah.
like thing. Like that whole sequence is just like nothing but a horror film. Like he's trying to find him, and he turns the TV on, and all the monitors have his face, and he's talking to Billy. And
Hmm.
he goes around the corner, and he's not there anymore. You just
Yeah.
gotta keep looking for him. I loved it.
And I'll never
I
get
thought,
tired
well,
of practical effects. A good like all the how the gremlins look. To me, that always
amazing.
works. And then I love
Yeah.
they had some fun with it. Once it started like once Stripe started getting fucked up in the end, he was started looking gnarly, and then
Oh,
and then he
that
turns into the
effect was
skeletal
so
one too. Yeah.
that was awesome. That that was kind of scary, actually. Like if there's one thing that could scare young children, it'd be something like that, or like the violent ways in which they were all, you know, killed in the kitchen. Which I think I was reading that this is one of the movies that was this and like Temple of Doom were like two of the main movies that people were looking to. Like maybe there should be something between PG and R.
Right.
So, which is fun because they just so both happen to be, Spielberg produced. We had Spielberg, Kathleen Kennedy, and Frank Marshall all producing on this movie. They're typically the Indiana Jones trio, but of course with Kathleen Kennedy being more involved in Star Wars as well. But Frank Marshall in particular was typically known for his involvement with Indiana Jones. So it is kind of fun that those two movies are kind of the resulting of the reason that we have a PG-13 rating.
It's true.
Now.
It's true.
So
yeah, and I just love the different. You get the intelligence side of them to where you get the unplugged the clock that he fed them. He thought he was feeding them right before midnight, but it actually was after midnight. And then like I was saying, they just become absolute menaces. You know, Kate's working her ass off in that bar.
Trying to keep them happy. She's got they're keep them happy. They're paying customers, and they're not going to pay anything. They're just messing the whole town up. I liked also the little. They didn't necessarily bring tons of detail to it or tons of attention to it, but the fact that the brake lines on all the cars were cut because the Gremlins had been and they'd screwed around with all the cars and everyone's cars, and so they're like cops are like slamming on the brakes and nothing's breaking. They screwed up the traffic light. Loved it. I loved all that stuff. That was fun.
And then my favorite shot of the film is the one of, I don't know why it's so good to me, the shot of just Gizmo's face when he's driving that little car. I just love that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was very fun. Yeah, I like that. I liked the I actually liked the another ton about other like horror sort of elements. I like the elementary school teacher with the first kind of encounter with when Stripe kind of has, I think it's Stripe, or is it a clone there? I don't remember. I actually don't remember. Yeah. Well, it's the one that's in the classroom anyway. The one that emerges from the classroom, and I love that whole scene of him just like looking around, and then he's like, "Oh, you hungry? You eating something?" And then like, "Ah!" All of a sudden, he's just like.
It's funny because like, you know, they did a lot of damage, these Gremlins, but the most gnarly deaths are the Gremlins dying and the Mogwai dying.
True.
Really. Like, they're the most memorable, like, more gruesome ones. Like, I can't recall any like people dying in like overtly gruesome ways.
No.
You know, it'll be like he was under the thing, so you don't really see him. Like when he reached his hand under. They'll do stuff like that, or like the guy who was just being overwhelmed when the cops pulled up. They're all over him, and then he just kind of goes out of frame.
Or what's her name? Who gets launched out of her?
Mrs. Deagle. Yeah,
Mrs. Deagle gets launched, and that's extremely funny.
It's a reliance on the technology right there. Shame on you.
That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, and then ultimately it ends up with the guy, the shop owner, coming and taking Gizmo back, and you're not ready yet. You know,
you're not ready.
They have to give you some foreboding comments, like stuff like that.
Well, I like the fact that they blow up the theater. they blew it up. I was like, wow, we're just going. It's just like this is the only thing we can do. We get to blow the theater up.
Yep, they're showing. What killed those guys, those Gremlins, is their love of movies. Here we are.
They're the love of
sitting
down and watching. The love of watching a yet another theater re-release of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Shouldn't have done that. They were loving it though.
They were
It's
having
so
a
funny
great
how they're
time.
just doing they're causing all sorts of commotion around the town, but they all like have to come together in an agreement. They need to watch Snow White. You know, like
Yeah, it's just like, hey, we got run of this town now. We might as well sit down and hork down a whole bunch of popcorn
there's a
and
sweet side
sing
to
hi
them, you
ho.
know. Yeah, that was iconic. They started singing "Hi Ho," and
That's so good.
and even as they were like when they go out to the outside of the theater and you get a little gizmo, a little bit of a little hi ho that he puts out. Yeah.
The soundtrack. Speaking of the music, I like the soundtrack a lot. I like that the little Gizmos theme. I kind of
Mm.
liked how that was sort of the thread of
Yeah.
the score. It was nice. It was a nice little. It kind of fit that sort of charming tone of the movie. But then, of course, it wasn't afraid to have more exciting, menacing music too.
That's
When
right.
the when the going got more sinister.
So it's
So
like at the end of the day, I enjoyed the film. I didn't come in at like a 9 out of 10 just because it feels
hmm,
like I feel like the similar way to how I felt about Honey I Shrunk the Kids. Is that kind of it's a good time. This has more iconic stuff to it at least, but
yeah,
yeah, it's a
there's
good time.
a lot of enjoyment to to the practicality of the filmmaking. I do love the fact that knowing that this was such a low budget film is that you're able to do a lot with it. Showcased that you could still do a lot with a little. Because it's like, yeah, there's there's stuff that's very easily done, easily made. The kind of the main street stretch that was probably filmed in the back that looked like it was just straight up the backlot sets that they usually used in Hollywood around this time. Um, and then of course there's nothing overly complicated about any of the other major sets, and so that allowed them to just kind of lean on the practical effects, which were great. I mean, they were all really great.
Yeah.
So very
Oh,
fun movie, very funny,
very
very
fun.
entertaining. And,
Interested to see Gremlins 2.
yeah,
What do we do here?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, let's do our final scores. 3, 2, 1, flip. 8.
8.5.
Alright. That's a Tarqaron
It's all
score of
right.
8.25. That seems right.
I think that's very fair. I think that's it's like I said, I want to make this is definitely going to be one of those in the rotation. Again, it's kind of like one of those ones that I feel it's kind of a shame I didn't grow up watching this movie. I feel like I would have really
Yeah.
liked this movie growing up. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know how because I don't. As far as I'm aware, my parents never saw it. So my brothers probably never saw it either. I actually would forgot to ask them. That was something I'd been planning on being like, hey, you guys ever actually seen Gremlins? Because it came out, it was 84, so they would have grown up. That was, they both grew up in the 80s, so they would have been aware of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like
yeah,
you like
not
how they
to.
were watching the mom was watching It's a Wonderful Life too.
That was great. Well, yeah, like I said, that's sort of the fun. It was like the miserly old lady who comes in the bank was just like,
You're watching a lot of black
if
and
it,
white
yeah, well,
films in general.
yeah, there was that. There's a couple other ones that I'm not sure what the racing movie that
Mm,
Gizmo was watching was. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of it felt very like it was very fun. How it sort of utilized that kind of as the language of the movie, uh, sort of using filmmaking itself as kind of
yeah.
a little joke. I don't know. There's what I think what made it a lot of fun for me was just in how, even though it's utilizing all of the tropes that everyone knows, but it's doing it in such a way that's like it's all fun. It's all in fun and all in like it's not necessarily like criticizing those movies for being that way. It's more just like poking fun at how silly it all is, but making something really enjoyable um, in the end. So
You know what I watched?
I smell something burning.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. It definitely smells like something's burning, but it's not. So apparently, which is good.
Yeah. It's the Mogwai.
It's the Mogwai. They're screwing up they're going down in my kitchen. They're screwing up everything.
I was gonna say, you know what movies I watched for the first time this year? I watched Gremlins, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and It's Wonderful Life.
That's pretty great. You get kind of a full little helping right here. I was actually gonna. It's funny. That was something I was actually gonna kind of comment on, but we already did sort of talk about it. So yeah, I just think it was funny that those were all movies that I know that you we didn't review It's a Wonderful Life, but I do know that you had seen it, and obviously I've talked about it before because it's one of my favorite movies, pretty much ever, and is a movie that was on our list of top 5 films that define us. So it's like it's one of my favorites, for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we should definitely review it sometime.
The fact we should, and I did like the fact that it was like, Mom, what's the matter? Oh, it's a sad movie. It's like during the ending, which is like one of the happiest. It's such a happy ending.
Well, it's
just such a
but
funny.
It makes you emotional, yeah.
Yeah,
it's an emotional ending.
It is, but it was funny. She called it sad because it's like. So she's like, "Merry Christmas, everybody!" He's running through.
Yeah, that's always something that that bothers me in movies, when there's a disconnect between if you're paying attention to what they're saying versus what's actually on the screen. Just like the freaking whenever someone's playing a damn video game in a movie, I can't stand that either. Because they're always jamming that thing, not playing any sort of game. and
please stop doing that.
Sometimes you'll get shots of the game, and it's like that's not what's happening. And then other times it's clearly a shot of just them, and they're playing nothing. You know, they can never. I've almost never seen a movie do it right. Playing video games, just let them play a game or something.
At least for when Breaking Bad did it, at least that was like they made that like a game for the. Because that's not like a real game, but they made like a game for the scene, basically.
There you go.
Like that's really smart. That works really good because it also just fits on in like where Jesse's at as a character right now, kind of like the trauma and the struggles he's going through. And it's great.
But whenever you get an actor playing a video game, it's like they've never played a video game before. You have to be pressing buttons at all time. There's no just ever a point in the game where they're just moving around. It's
just like you just gotta
maybe
it's like what kind of combos are you doing? You playing a fighting game? What is happening?
But anyway,
it's like I know you guys have. I know at least some of you have played games. I've seen those like one of my favorite pictures of all time is that GameCube. It was like the GameCube demo thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like they have all these rando celebrities where it's like you've got Jason Alexander like looking over his shoulder as he's playing Metroid Prime. It's like, what? That's an iconic photo.
There's some good ones in there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. 8.25. You know, if we gave 0.25s on our own, that might be what I've given it. 8.25. So
yeah,
happy with that. There you go. So next time, Gremlins 2, and
the new batch.
This is technically the end of our month of horror in terms of us dressing up, but we should still be able to. We might be able to still squeeze that into October, so it's still part of our month of horror. You know,
still appropriate. Yeah.
So there you go. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more movie reviews, game reviews, discussions, podcasts, games, shenanigans. Survivor every week, you know, tons of stuff. In the meantime, I'm going to recommend a random Tarqaron video for you to watch next.
What would that be? Random rules, Zach. Random rules.
Why don't you go check out our review of The Haunting of Bly Manor? All right.
Ooh, there's a good one. Yeah,
that's a good one. Did we review that in October? Yeah, we did. That was part of one of our months of horror.
Yep, I think that was their 2020
Oh, you had no costume on for that back in the day.
It's for real? Wow, it was
Yeah,
lame.
there was one that
Probably
you like forgot probably,
yeah.
but yeah. All right, there you go. Check it out. A lot of months of horror stuff, scary stuff, on the
Mm-hmm.
channel, and
Spooky. We're spooking
yeah,
it up.
and
Oh, before we
mhm.
go entirely, I did want to pause it because I was sort of thinking about this. Is like is Lauren, because Lauren went by Gizmo a lot of the time. You know, Rusty would call Lauren Gizmo
Yeah,
because I think that was like a lot of her online handle, Gizmo's game room.
yeah,
Was it because of Gremlins?
must be.
That was one thing that I've never asked, but I'm assuming it has to be. So anyway, I just
They probably
wanted to
told
throw
the
that out there.
story too. Surely they told the story at some point. What
He
Gizmo
had to
came
have.
from.
He had to have, but I just don't remember. It may have
She
been in
loves
an old,
Gremlins.
could have been an old Otaku Brothers episode. I don't
Yeah,
know,
she might
but
love Gremlins.
which understandable and good taste. And I hope they enjoyed watching the review.
All right. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Rusty comment, so I don't know if he's been able to watch. He's been busy or what have you, but
Busy man. Raising your kids not exactly a walk in the park.
well, it depends how much they weigh.
Yeah, well, I guess that's true.
All
Yeah, you
right.
could walk them through a park. It's true.
And raising them usually isn't that difficult. All right.
Like I
Yeah.
guess I can't raise it in a way that's satisfying for the
Yeah.
camera.
That's the most annoying thing with these. I always have to lower the camera and be like a little hunched over to even fit. I've had 2
Mm,
back-to-back tall hats. So
yeah.
there you go.
All
Take
right.
care. Right.
There you go.